There's something a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to dating in the Philippines. It's not about red flags. It's not about toxicity. It's about timing. Because a relationship here can feel incredibly smooth in the beginning, almost like there are no problems at all. And then later, not suddenly, not dramatically, but gradually, you start noticing things you didn't see before. Reactions feel different. Communication feels less clear. Small things start to matter more. And the confusing part is nothing actually happened. So, what changed? Now, here we go again, my beloved subscribers and listeners, for another interesting discussion only in this JM Roots and Real Talk channel. Stay put. Alright, to start with, let's discuss about the pattern that a lot of foreign men don't expect when dating in the Philippines. You know, at the beginning, everything feels effortless. The connection flows. The conversation are light. The energy feels natural, easy, almost perfect. And many men think, this is better than what I'm used to. This is how relationships should feel. But the truth is, what feels easy in the beginning is not the full relationship. It's just the starting phase. In the early stage, both people are naturally showing their best side. But in the Philippines, there's a cultural layer that makes this even stronger. Filipinas are often very adaptive in the beginning of relationships. They observe first how you communicate, how you treat people, and what kind of energy you bring into their life. And then they adjust accordingly, not because they are pretending, but because harmony and connection matter a lot culturally. So, what the man experiences is less conflict, less tension, less resistance, and it feels very smooth. But here's where the misunderstanding begins. Because many foreign men assume, oh, this is how she naturally is all the time. When in reality, this is just the adjustment phase, not the full personality. As time passes and the relationship becomes more stable, something shifts, but not in an obvious way. It's not a fight, it's not a breakup moment, it's not a sudden change, it's subtle. She becomes more expressive, more emotionally aware of things, less filtered in how she reacts. And a man starts noticing, wait, this feels different now. But from her perspective, nothing actually went wrong. She's not becoming a different person. She's simply becoming more comfortable being fully herself. And this is where the relationship transitions from something that feels easy to something that feels real. And why is that? Because in the beginning, both people are careful. You're learning each other, you're adjusting your behavior, you're trying to keep things smooth. But later on, you stop performing and you start reacting. And that's where dynamics change. Now let's go deeper into why this feels complicated for some foreign men. First is communication. In Western cultures, communication is direct. Yes, that's very true. And if there's a problem, you talk about it. If something is wrong, you say it clearly. But, in Filipino culture, communication is often more indirect. Feelings are more expressed through tone, through behavior, through silence or distance. So instead of hearing, I feel neglected, you might just experience less warmth, less responsiveness, subtle emotional distance. And if you don't understand that language, you start trying to figure it out logically. And that's where confusion begins. Now, secondly, expectations start forming quietly. In the beginning, there are no heavy expectations yet. Everything feels like exploratory, but as emotional connection grows, expectations naturally appear. Consistency, time, attention, emotional presence. The problem is these expectations are often not clearly spoken, so the man doesn't always realize they exist, but they are still felt. And thirdly, emotional investment increases over time, and this changes how everything is perceived. In the early stage, small things don't matter much, but later on, small things start carrying weight. How you respond, how present you are, how consistent your behavior feels. And suddenly, things that used to feel simple start feeling more sensitive. So, from the outside, it looks like everything became complicated. But in reality, the relationship didn't become complicated, it just became deeper. Now, here's the part most people miss. What feels easy in the beginning was never the full relationship. It was just the introduction phase, where everything is still being shaped, where both sides are just still adjusting. So, where differences are softened. And what comes after that is not a problem, it's just the next stage, the real stage. And when you don't recognize the transition, you start mislabeling what's happening. You think it's mood changes, the drama, suddenly personality shifts. When in reality, it's just emotional reality becomes visible. Because in these relationships, especially cross cultural ones, you are not just dealing with feelings, you're also dealing with communication style differences, cultural expectations, emotional expression differences, the timing of attachment as well. And all of that doesn't show up immediately, it builds slowly. So when someone says, it was so easy at the start, why is it like this now? And the answer is usually not that something went wrong. It's that just the relationship moved past the surface level. And now you're dealing with the depth, with the expectations, with reactions, with emotional presence. And if you're not aware of that shift, it feels confusing, not because it is broken, but because it is real now. And so, if your relationship in the Philippines felt easy at first and now feels more complex, it doesn't mean something changed in a bad way. It means you've moved into a different stage. Because what felt easy in the beginning was never the full relationship. So it was just the part where everything is still forming, still soft, still untested, still new. And once you understand that, you stop chasing the easy phase and you start understanding how real relationships actually work. And now, ladies and gentlemen, some people try to avoid this confusion by choosing more intentional dating platforms like Christian Filipina, where values and long term intentions are more aligned from the start. But even then, understanding cultural and emotional differences is still necessary. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave the link in the description box and pinned comment of this video. So if you think this is the way to go, click the link to sign up now. This is JM Roots and Real Talk. Thank you so much for being here, spending time and effort to support this channel. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming videos, shorts, and long form one. And also, please put your comments, suggestions, anything that you think can help my channel. This is again JM. Thank you so much and God bless us all. Bye bye.